I ain't gonna sit here in front like I wasn't made for it. I prayed for it, I'm built for it. They tried to steer me off direction, but it's still forward. Yeah, I'm still going. As long as my family living straight, then I might die for it. Many nights I let my hands touch, yeah, I prayed for it. Ain't no blueprint for how I'm built, just know I'm made for it. I know they wrote me off plenty times, it was more than twice, but I wanted this life, now I'm living it right. Certain things you can't imagine, those are things I'm attracting. Certainly put in the time, it's way more than just asking. Dream the vision, but the scheme I had to put into action. I think they got it confused, that's why they hustling backwards. I can't even fathom that, no. Lot of nights, almost lost it, had to battle back, dog. That's the life that I wanted, I can't take a second off. Same ones who write me now, same ones that wrote me off.
Originally, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Born out there, I lived out there until I was about 6. Then I moved to the suburbs, the outskirts of Atlanta. So I was raised out there, so I got the north and the south in me. And then right after college, moved out west to Seattle. So it's a whole different culture shock. Small school in Georgia, Rome, Georgia, called Shorter University. Small PWI Christian school, played football there for 4 years. Man, the college experience. I'm not gonna lie, I think wrestling really might have been first because I was so young. I only played football because my older brother played football. So football came a little later, like around 7, 8. But I knew I wanted to wrestle since I was about 3 or 4, to be honest. There was no training to become a professional wrestler. So it's like, I might as well just do football until I find out what wrestling really is. The real moment when I was like, I really can do this, was the first time I went to an event, maybe when I was 21. I never got to go to events when I was younger or anything. Couldn't afford tickets or just didn't know about it. But the first time I saw it actually live in person, I saw Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, and I just saw how comfortable they were talking to the crowd, how comfortable they were doing their thing. In person, it didn't seem as big as a spectacle as it does on TV. It was like, I'm this close to it, so maybe I can try my hand at it. It was just that simple. There's so many influences that I have within wrestling. Jeff Hardy was my #1 guy just because, not even for the crazy stuff he did in the ring, I loved his attire, I loved his energy during his entrance, I loved just like his overall energy, you know what I mean? So that type of stuff just drew me to the sport. The Rock, obviously, just how he commanded the camera, just how he commanded the crowd. Mr. Perfect is a big one for me. Just seeing how he sells things, just seeing how he's so different from everybody else. His larger than life character. I think I was literally just sitting at work, bored at work, just, if I become a wrestler, what's gonna be my nickname? Every wrestler gotta have a nickname, you know? Because I can't just be Kevin. So I thought the Jet always just sounded cool. Picking that name, I went to go live that on. You know, by being all over the state, traveling to Japan multitude of times. So like, it's been cool just like living that out, seeing where it started and seeing where I am now. Obviously, I do a little bit of high-flying style, but this is just the way I do things. I put my own flavor to it. I put my own flyness to it, like I like to say. I'm too fly. I do a drop kick, but nobody does a drop kick like the Jet. I do a body slam. Nobody does it like me. Nobody does a frog splash the way I do it. I like to do simple things, but add my own little seasoning to it, add my own little flavor to it and make it the Jet's own. First time me and Kushida won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tags in Hiroshima. That moment was just so crazy, just hearing the reaction once the 1, 2, 3 went off. It was dope just having that moment with my boy right beside me. Still don't feel real. It's very surreal when that comes to fruition. It's like, man, all of my hard work, all of my dedication, sacrifices, paying off for something. And to be rewarded like that so quickly too. That was just my second tour ever in Japan. I don't know, I've always had high expectations for myself. So just to reach that pinnacle so quickly, it's like, okay, I am on the right direction. I am doing the right thing. You know, a lot of times in the business, you'll get down on yourself and be like, you may want to quit, you get in your own head. But things like that is what really keep you going. The first time we ever met each other, we had instant chemistry. We may not speak the same language, we have a language barrier, but we understand each other. Like, we don't even have to talk to each other to understand what we're doing. And Kushida, he's done everything. He's a 7-time IWGP champ, tag team champ. He's been to the E, he's been all over the world. So he has so much knowledge just to give down. And he has such a different perspective on how he wants wrestling to look. And I literally just pick up on these little things, and he has a formula down pat. So guys like him is just so cool to watch because he knows exactly who he is, and he gives that every single time. The rise of black wrestlers is game changer because before it was just a Ron Simmons, before it was just a Mark Henry, just The Rock, Booker T and WCW. Now you have so many different flavors in every company. You have a Swerve, you have an Athena, a Mercedes, you have a Mello, a Trick, you had Kofi a few years ago, Big E, and now me and Leo and Chris Bay and MVP Once Upon a Time in Japan. So it's like the next generation has so much to pull from for their experience, because when we was coming up, it was one or two, you know what I mean? When they always cornered us into whatever they think a black man should or shouldn't be. But now they can see so many different flavors of themselves on TV in prominent positions too, being taken serious, which is a big thing that I'm serious about. It's inspiring to see in real time, to be honest. In 5 years, I see myself as being on top of the world. Just like you said, with Swerve doing everything that he's done, not only just in the ring, but outside the ring. Just he's done so much with sneaker con, so much with music. I see myself doing the same type of thing. If I am the champion, I don't have to be, but you know, I just want to be a big prominent piece of whatever promotion I am a part of. Just seeing it in real time ahead of me is like, okay, I know I can do it. So shout out to Swerve, Mercedes, Athena, they doing their thing, because the next generation now has a quote unquote blueprint to follow. It's like, okay, they did it. Now I know it's possible that I could do it. So 5 years, on top of the world, on top of the world.